Hi, everybody. This is your announcement for Philosophy 201 for the week of April 20th. So we are moving right along here through our semester. And so last week, you completed a discussion in Module 4 on ethics. And I just looked through your responses, and it looks like it was a good discussion. It was very interesting to see your thoughts about whether or not you think humans are born with a propensity for goodness, as is suggested in one of our readings from last time. And I think you all answered the question pretty well, and I like that many of you, justified your reasoning for your answer. And it looks like most people don't believe that humans are born with a propensity for good. And at least one person talked about, well, what is good? Anyway, I mean, what are we defining as good? And I think that's a really strong point and a valid point to raise. So good job on the discussion last week. Okay, so for this week, and also just to let you know, I did grade your critical essays, and forgive me if I'm repeating myself from the last announcement, but I just wanted to say that I write comments when I graded those essays, and so I just want to encourage you to please read my comments. Don't just read the number on the grade, but I take time to try to provide some helpful comments and also questions about your writing and what you wrote. So, and if you want to reply to if I ask you a question, feel free to do that. So anyway, just want to throw that out there. Okay, so we continue in our course to another module. This week we are on Module 4.2. Okay, now Module 4.2, you will be writing something besides a discussion, okay, or instead of a discussion. So this is a little bit different. This is a journal. Okay, so up until this point, you have written descriptive essays and critical essays. So now you're going to write something that's actually going to give you the opportunity to be self-reflective. In other words, to think about what you have read in our class and apply that to your own life and your own experiences, and to relate that to us. Now, this is a paper, so it's not, it's not a discussion. It's not anything that anyone else is going to read except me. Okay, so there's, you have privacy there. And so this is, like I said, it's a different kind of assignment, and I'm going to go over it with you. Okay, so the objective for this is to discuss the implications of the theories of ethics. We're going to focus on ethics presented in Module 4.1 to one's life in a journal. And then 2, develop one's own theory of ethics in a journal. Okay, so, and that's your assignment for this week, is to write a journal. It's like a journal entry. Okay, so I would encourage you to review the readings that you completed for Module 4.1, all right, before you start in on this. Okay, so here is the assignment. Let's go over this. Okay, about journal assignments. This assignment asks you to be self-reflective. This means that, as best as you can, your response to the questions below, take what is said in the assigned readings and apply those ideas to your own life by discussing situations and circumstances that you have experienced. It is appropriate to use I in journal assignments. In fact, it is encouraged. Your response to each of the following questions should be 1 to 2 paragraphs, 3 to 5 sentences in each paragraph, written in standard English. Spelling and grammatical errors should be eradicated from your journal when you hit submit. Okay, so here are the questions that I'm asking you to respond to. How do you determine what you ought to do? So that's one question. Describe your philosophy of ethics. Which of the readings in Module 4.1 is most similar to the beliefs you hold about ethics? Explain why the reading is more similar to your beliefs. Okay, so you're going to need to reply to each of those questions, or at least address, address each of those questions. So the criteria for grading, I'll be looking for accuracy and completeness. How accurately does your response answer all of the questions using details and or examples? And then second, self-reflection. How well does your response apply the reading materials to your personal outlook? Are examples from your own experiences included in your response? And then third, clarity of writing. How clearly is your essay how clearly is your essay written? Are there spelling or grammatical errors? Okay, now there's a little bit of a twist to this assignment. This is not a requirement, but it's an invitation. So I'm inviting you to include, so along with your essay, not instead of your essay, but with your essay, up to 3 visual images to illustrate your written journal. So the written responses to the questions in your journal are still required whether or not you decide to use visual images. Visual images may be images of your own hand-drawn pictures or photographs. All images must be in file formats which I can open and that are clear to see. Any image taken from the internet must include a source stating from where the image was retrieved. Okay, so that's just to make this a little more interesting, maybe a little more fun for you, is to illustrate your journal. Okay, so going back to answering the questions. So yeah, this is something where obviously this is personal. Okay, I'm asking you questions about yourself and your experiences, but it's also important to remember that you're also talking about the readings, okay? So try to make sure what you say is tied in and supported by the readings, okay? So that's what we're doing. This assignment is due on April 24th, and this is the rubric that I'll be using to grade your submissions. Okay, so that is what we're doing for this week. Okay, so you'll be working on that journal. Okay, so I'm looking forward to seeing what you say there. And if you have questions about this assignment, please contact me early in the week so that I can help you. All right, that's what I'm here to do. I have office hours on Tuesday and Thursday. I would, if you're going to contact me, make it on Tuesday, so it's earlier, 2:30 to 3:30. I'm on Zoom, and I would be very happy to talk with you, face to face, about the assignment and, give you any clarification or assistance you might need. Okay, so yeah, that's where we're at. Now, I wanted to ask you a question to respond to just for fun in the comments below this video. And so the question is, we talked about ethics last time in the pandemic. This time I want to ask you about yourself since you're reflecting, and that is, what, if anything, have you learned about yourself and your own existence through this time of pandemic and encounter with a life-threatening virus? And I know, hopefully none of you have had contact with the virus personally, or it hasn't touched your family, but just in general, what have you learned about yourself through all of this, or through the social distancing and staying at home and all the measures that we've been taking in order to keep us and others safe? What have you learned about yourself? Okay, I'm also going to give you a little bit of a treat. There was something neat on TV and streaming, the One World Together concert, and so I'm going to put in one of the videos from that program. It's I think a hopeful message, so I hope you enjoy it. Okay, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.